Hello, students. A very good morning to all of you. I hope you all are in good health and taking great care of yourself. So, in the last class, we started the chapter If I Were You, written by Douglas James. Here, we got to know that there are two characters in this story. One is Gerard, who lives in a lonely cottage, and an intruder, that means a person who forcefully or without the permission enters in somebody's house, and that intruder is a criminal who has planned to take over the identity of Gerard by killing him. Okay, and we need to see whether he succeeds in that or not. Now, as you know that we have already completed some portion of this story, we have already gone through some dialogues, and we have seen that a talk is going on, conversation is going on between Gerard and intruder. The scene starts, or the play starts, where Gerard is talking over the phone with someone, and he lets that person know that he would be leaving his house in 10 minutes and he is packing some bag. And at that moment, person, or you can say the intruder, came inside from another door and silently, and he also had a revolver in his hand, but he just bumped over accidentally against a table, and that's where Gerard came to know that an intruder or a stranger is in his house. And so, being a polite person or a cultured person, you can say, he just welcomes the intruder. He says that I am pleased to meet you, but intruder is not at all in that mood, and that's why he just shows his gun and asks him to put his hands up. And that's where the talk begins. The intruder asks Gerard to tell him about himself, whether what kind of person he is, does he like to go out, or does people come and visit him, right? He tries to ask him, and Gerard also answers him in a polite way, or you can say in first, when the conversation started, at that time Gerard tried to irritate him because he did not know his intention. उसको इंटेंशन नहीं मालूम थे इंट्रूडर के कि उसको क्या करना है, राइट? उसको पता नहीं था कि वो क्यों आया है. इनफैक्ट ही डिडंट इवन नो द नेम, एंड ही ट्राइड टू गेट द आंसर ऑफ दैट क्वेश्चन, बट that was in vain. Intruder was not ready to tell his name, and Gerard was like, you know so many things about me, you have all the information, like he has a car, yeah, he doesn't meet the trades person, that means he doesn't meet the businessman, right? ये सारी चीज़ें इंट्रूडर को मालूम थी. नाउ दैट्स द रीज़न वो उसको बोलता है कि व्हेन यू नो सो मैनी थिंग्स अबाउट मी, लेट्स जस्ट टॉक अबाउट यू. इंट्रूडर को बोलता है कि अब तुम्हारे बारे में बात करते हैं, राइट? एंड दैट्स वेयर वी स्टॉप्ड, सो वी वुड बी कंटिन्यूइंग फ्रॉम दैट टॉपिक over here. Intruder. What did intruder say when Gerard asked him to talk about himself? He said, I could tell you plenty. You think you are smart, but I am the top of the class round here. I have got brains and I use them. That's how I have got where I have. So the intruder said that there are many things I can talk about. उसके बारे में बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं. But right now I am not in that mood. एंड अगर तुमको लगता है कि तुम ऐसे करके मेरे से बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन या मेरे बारे में जान लोगे, then that is not possible, because you think you are smart, but I am the smartest one in this round. That means यहाँ पर smartest one कौन है उन दोनों में से? I am sorry, not smartest one, the smarter one. Okay, दो लोग हैं तो smarter कौन है? Intruder है, ठीक है? और वो बोलता है कि मेरे पास brain है and I know how to use it. And that's the reason that I am intelligent, I am smart, and I know how to use my brain, and that's the reason where I am today. Okay, और मैं कहाँ पहुँच गया हूँ, where I have got. So Gerard just asked him, and where precisely have you got? So just let me know precisely. Precisely means give me a perfect answer that where did you get, कहाँ पर पहुँच गए हो तुम. It didn't require great brain to break into my little cottage. So he said that breaking into my house, right? Being an intruder and coming into my house and trying to show the gun and get the information from me, right? That doesn't need much. You can say you don't need to be smart for that, right? Not that smart, or you don't have to use that much amount of your brain कि आप किसी के घर में मतलब एक छोटे से कॉटेज में घुस नहीं सकते हो, राइट? उसके लिए कोई बड़ी चीज़ की ज़रूरत नहीं है, मतलब बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा दिमाग लगाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है इस चीज़ के लिए. सो इंट्रूडर सेड, व्हेन यू नो why I have broken into your little cottage, you will be surprised and it won't be a pleasant surprise. So intruder ने उसको क्या बोला कि if you come to know कि why did I break into your cottage, right? Why did I came over here and why am I having a gun and what is the reason that I am talking to you? You would be surprised but not in a pleasant way. मतलब तुमको शॉक लगेगा but that won't be a good one. It won't be a happy surprise. So Gerard, with you figuring so largely in it, that is understandable. By the way, what particular line of crime do you embrace? Or aren't you a specialist? So here the Gerard tells intruder that when you are being involved in this so largely in it, that means you are over here and I have figured out that if you are involved then it is quite understandable कि तुम्हारा जो ये reason है, right? The reason why you have broken into my house, that might be a shocking one. And then he asked him कि what particular line of crime do you embrace? Embrace means accept or adopt. Okay, what particular line of crime, मतलब तुम कौन सी crime की line में हो, या फिर aren't you a specialist? That means you can carry out any kind of crime because you are not a specialist in any special line of crime. So intruder said, my specialty is jewel robbery. That means what does he do? He robs jewels. उसकी वो specialty है, मतलब he is a specialist in jewel robbery. And your car will do me a treat. It's certainly a dandy bus. That means the car which Gerard owns is a dandy bus. That means it's quite fashionable, or you can say it's a very expensive one and very nice. Okay, the look is quite attractive of that bus, and that would be a treat for the intruder. Gerard said, I am afraid jewels are few and far between in the wilds of Essex. Wilds of Essex means the forest area, right? Essex is the forest area. It's near the forest, and that's why Gerard says that you won't be able to find any jewels in this forest, in this wilds of Essex. So intruder said, so are the cops. I can retire here nicely for a little while. That means what is intruder trying to say कि जैसे ही इस जगह में jewels कम मिलेंगे, right? या फिर ना के बराबर होंगे wilds of Essex में, मतलब जो forest area है इधर, right? उधर Essex के पास. So आपको यहाँ Essex के अंदर फॉरेस्ट एरिया ज़्यादा है, सो आपको ज्यूल्स तो मिलने से रहे. सो इंट्रूडर ने कहा कि वैसे ही कॉप्स भी नहीं होंगे, राइट? पुलिस भी नहीं होगी, सो आई कैन रिटायर हियर वेरी नाइसली एंड आई कैन लिव माई रेस्ट ऑफ द लाइफ पीसफुली. सो जेरार्ड सेड, यू मीन टू लिव विथ मी? अ ट्रिफल सडन, isn't it? You have not been invited. So when intruder said that he is going to retire here, he is going to stay here, Gerard asked him that, do you think that you are going to live with me? A trifle sudden, isn't it? That trifle means a little bit, a little of something. Okay. Means a thing which is not of that much value. Okay. And this is quite sudden. That, and he also told him along with it that you are not invited. You can't stay here. Okay. You haven't been invited by me. So intruder said, you won't be here long, so I didn't trouble to ask. The intruder ने उसको क्या बताया कि you are not going to stay here long, and that's the reason I did not trouble you of asking that whether I can stay here or not. So Gerard said, what do you mean? Intruder said, this is your big surprise. I am going to kill you. What did intruder say? That is the big surprise. That means that is a shock for you. And what is that? I am going to kill you. So Gerard said, a little harsh, isn't it? That means the Gerard is trying to tell him that whatever you are going to do or whatever you are saying, it's quite harsh. It's bad, right? So intruder with heavy sarcasm, yeah, I'll be sorry to do it. I have taken a fancy about you, but it just got to be done. So intruder replied sarcastically, yes, I would be really sorry for doing that to you. But yes, I like you, and the way you are, I am happy that I would pretend to be you, and that's the reason it has to be done. So when intruder said that it has to be done, I have to kill you, Gerard said, why add murder to your other crimes? It's a grave step you are taking. So Gerard उसको समझाता है कि why do you want to add murder to your other crimes? That means what did he tell him? That he is a specialist in jewel robbery, right? And murder is totally a different line. So he said that you shouldn't be adding a murder to your other crimes. That could be a grave step. And he also advised intruder not to do so. So intruder said, I am not taking it for fun. I have been hunted long enough. I am wanted for murder already, and they can't hang me twice. So intruder ने उसको समझाया कि I am not doing anything for my fun, okay? Because I have been hunted long enough. That means the police has been chasing him since a long time ago because he has already murdered one person. And that's the reason he is being hunted or he is being chased by the police. And now he wants to stay in peace. And that's why he said that I am going to kill you, because even if I get caught, the police is not going to kill me twice. That means they are not going to hang me twice if I kill 2, 3 or 5 person. So Gerard said, you are planning a gratuitous double, so to speak. Admitted you have nothing to lose, but what have you to gain? So Gerard said that you are planning something to do without reason, right? You are being bad, but I can understand that you have nothing to lose. Okay, I can understand that you don't have anything to lose, but what will you gain by killing me, right? Because he wanted to know the reason that why the intruder has decided to kill Gerard. So intruder said, I have got freedom to gain. As for myself, I am a poor hunted rat. As Vincent Charles Gerard, I am free to go places and do nothing. I can eat well and sleep and without having to be ready to beat it at the sight of a cop. So intruder ने उसको क्या समझाया कि after killing or in exchange of murder of Gerard, what he is going to gain? He is going to get freedom, right? If he kills Gerard, he will get freedom. And how is that possible? कि being himself, अगर intruder जैसा है और उसकी जो identity है, right? वो identity के साथ अगर वो रहता है, he would be hunted like a poor rat, right? The police is behind him and he might get caught anytime, right? Police might chase him anytime. But if he lives as Vincent Charles Gerard, that means if he takes up the identity of Gerard, then he would be free to go places and do nothing. That means he can roam around, he can go wherever he want, and he doesn't have to do anything. He can eat well and sleep and without having to be ready to beat it at the sight of cop. That means even if the police sees him, right, they won't be able to catch me because I won't be an criminal anymore. I would be a person who lives a peaceful life and a respectful life, right? So that's the reason he wanted to steal the identity of Gerard. And for that, the most important thing has to be done was killing Gerard. In most melodramas, the villain is foolish enough to delay his killing long enough to be frustrated. You are much luckier. So Gerard says, in most melodramas, the villain is foolish enough to delay his killing long enough to be frustrated. You are much luckier. So most of the melodramas, that means most of the plays, you can say, उसके अंदर दिखाया जाता है कि villain is quite foolish. That means he doesn't use his brain and he is quite foolish enough to delay his killing and he then gets frustrated. That means he just tried to run away from police, but here you are quite luckier, right? So intruder said, I am okay. I have got a reason for everything. He says that whatever he is doing, it has a reason behind it. I am going to be Vincent Charles Gerard. See, I have got to know what he talks like. Now I know. That posh stuff comes easy. This is Mr. V.C. Gerard speaking. Pantomime of phoning in imitation cultured voice. And that's not all. He stands up. Get up a minute. Gerard stands. Now take a look at me. So intruder said that whatever I do, I have a reason behind it. And he says that I am going to be the Vincent Charles now, right? I am going to be Gerard. So I need to know how he talks like, right? And how he behaves, how he sits and how he gets up, right? The way of walking. He needs to learn everything. So he says that now I know everything about you. And that posh stuff, posh means the thing which gives a wealthy look. Okay. So that posh stuff, that means the way of speaking, right? Like an educated, sophisticated, and well-mannered person. So he said that that comes easy. The way you sit, the way you get up, the way you behave, that is quite easy. And then he shows him by imitating him or pantomiming. Pantomime means to mime or copy. So he tries to copy Gerard. This is Mr. V.C. Gerard speaking. So he pantomime of phoning. That means he imitates of the way he talks over the phone. And his voice is copied like a cultured voice. That means जैसे V.C. Gerard की आवाज़ थी, right? हमने starting में पढ़ा था कि उसका बात करने का तरीका कैसा था. It was quite cultured. That means quite well mannered and it looked like he is very educated. But over here now the intruder was also trying to do the same thing. And that's not all. He stands up and Gerard को भी उसने बोला कि you also get up a minute. And now to take a look at me. That means we both look almost same. So Gerard said, you are not particularly decorative. So that Gerard said that your acting is not very attractive. You don't look that decorative or you cannot be just like me. So intruder said, no. Well, that goes for you too. I have only got to wear specs and I will be enough like you to get away with. So So intruder ने कहा कि well, you are also not that decorative, right? But you are also not that attractive, or you are not good at acting, but I can be just like you if I wear specs. The only thing missing was the intruder was not wearing specs and Gerard was wearing specs, right? So if he starts wearing specs, then it would be enough for him to get away with it. That means he might look like Gerard only. So Gerard said, what about your clothes? They will let you down if you are not careful. So Gerard doesn't like his clothes. He said that you are not at all dressed up the way I am. So how is Gerard dressed up? He is dressed up in a lounge suit which is normally worn during daytime and when you go for work, right? That means that is quite formal one, and he is also wearing a grey coat, while the intruder was wearing something which was very flashy. That means it looked attractive, but yes, that was not a sophisticated or a formal dress. That's why Gerard said कि तुम्हारे जो कपड़े हैं वो तुम्हें let down करेंगे. That means it won't make you feel like Gerard. So intruder said, that will be all right. Yours will fit me fine. So intruder replied that there won't be a problem at all, क्योंकि तुम्हारे कपड़े तो मुझे आ ही जाएंगे, because we both are of same build up. So I will just wear your clothes. So Gerard said, that is extremely interesting, but you seem to miss the point of my remark. I said you were luckier than most melodramatic villains. It was not a tribute to your intelligence. You won't kill me for a good reason. So, what did Gerard say? That the intruder did not understand his remark when he said that you are the luckier one, and more lucky than those melodramatic villains. Now that was not a tribute. That means I was not showing respect or admiration for your intelligence, but I was telling you that thing for one specific reason. And what is that reason? That you are not going to kill me. Okay, you won't kill me for a good reason. So he wanted to say that the intruder wouldn't kill him until he had a major reason to do so. So intruder said, so that's what you think? That means तुमको ऐसा लगता है कि मैं तुम्हें नहीं मार सकता? So Gerard said, you will let me go. And thank God you didn't shoot sooner. So Gerard ने उसको कहा कि I know that you are going to allow me to go away from here, and you would be thanking God that you didn't shoot me sooner. मतलब तुमने मुझे जल्दी नहीं मार दिया, इसके लिए तुम God को thankful रहोगे, and you would allow me to go away. So intruder said, come on, what's on your mind? Better be quick. This conversation bores me. So intruder now ordered him to disclose what he was trying to say, right? Because he is not able to understand. जैसे इंट्रूडर ने स्टार्टिंग से छुपा के रखा कि वो उसकी आइडेंटिटी स्टील करना चाहता है by killing him. In the same way, now Gerard was also telling him something which was kind of surprising, right? And that's the reason he was not telling it straight away. So intruder को गुस्सा आ गया और उसने उसको पूछा, please let me know what is going on in your mind, and better be quick because now this conversation is boring me. मतलब ये conversation अभी मुझे bore कर रहा है, and once I get bored of this conversation, I would shoot you. So Gerard said, your idea is to elude the police by killing me and taking on my identity, right? मतलब जेराड उसको पूछता है कि तुम्हारा आइडिया क्या है, व्हाट इज़ योर आइडिया? दैट बाय टेकिंग माई आइडेंटिटी यू वुड बी सेव्ड फ्रॉम पुलिस, राइट? यू वुड इल्यूड द पुलिस. दैट मीन्स यू वुड एस्केप फ्रॉम पुलिस बाय किलिंग मी एंड टेकिंग माई आइडेंटिटी. उसको पूछ रहा है कि राइट तुम्हारा प्लान क्या है कि तुम मुझे मार के मेरी आइडेंटिटी ले लोगे और पुलिस से बच जाओगे. तो इंट्रूडर सेज येस आई लाइक द आइडिया, मतलब ऑब्वियसली दैट वॉज द आइडिया, है ना, और उसने कंफर्म किया कि हाँ मेरा यही प्लान था. सो जेरार्ड सेड बट आर यू श्योर इट्स गोइंग टू हेल्प यू. सो जेरार्ड ने उसको पूछा कि आर यू 100% श्योर दैट इट विल हेल्प यू आउट. सो इंट्रूडर सेड नाउ लिसन हियर, आई हैव गॉट दिस ऑल प्लान्ड. I did a job in the town. Things went wrong and I killed a cop. Since then, I have done nothing but dodge. So, intruder ने क्या कहा उसको कि सी ये सारी चीज़ें जो है वो काफ़ी planned out है. I have planned out everything. क्या प्लान आउट किया है उसने कि वो जेरार्ड को मार के उसकी आइडेंटिटी ले लेगा और पुलिस से बच जाएगा, राइट. और उसने फिर अपना रीज़न बताया कि वाई ही इज़ गोइंग टू डू दिस. उसने बताया कि उसकी एक जॉब थी, ही हैड अ जॉब इन अ टाउन, और वहाँ पे कुछ सही नहीं हुआ, थिंग्स वेंट रॉन्ग ओवर देयर एंड ही मर्डर्ड अ पुलिस मैन, ही किल्ड अ कॉप, दैट मीन्स ही murdered a policeman. And since then, that means after he killed the policeman, from that time onwards he is on run. That means he is doing nothing else but dodging means to avoid someone. that means यहाँ पे वो किससे बचने की ट्राई कर रहा है, पुलिस से बचने की ट्राई कर रहा है. So Gerard said, and this is where dodging has brought you. that means इधर उधर भाग के छिप के तुम यहाँ पहुँच गए, मतलब ये इधर उधर छुपने के बाद तुम यहीं तक पहुँचे हो, राइट. दैट मीन्स यू गॉट मी ओनली आफ्टर डॉजिंग. सो इंट्रूडर सेड येस इट ब्रॉट मी टू एल्सबरी, दैट्स वेयर आई सॉ यू इन द कार. 2 other people saw you and started to talk. I listened. It looks like you are a bit queer, kind of mystery man. So इंट्रूडर ने उसको बताया कि yes, I have reached over here. And how did I reach over here? It brought me to Aylesbury. That means he was in a town called Aylesbury. And there he saw Gerard. वहाँ पे उसने Gerard को देखा. And there were other people also who were discussing him. और उसको उन्होंने सुन लिया. He overheard those people when they were talking about Gerard. And the way they were talking and the way they were looking at Gerard, it was quite strange. It was quite queer. Queer means strange. ऐसा लगा मुझे कि तुम काफ़ी mysterious man हो. You are kind of a mystery man. That means Gerard was quite strange and mysterious. Gerard, a mystery which I propose to explain. So Gerard said, yes, it is a mystery and I would like to explain you ki what is the mystery. Okay, so Gerard said that he would like to make him understand that what is the mystery over here. So students, we would see the mystery, what Gerard is going to explain, or something which is hidden from everyone, right. And intruder is also waiting for that. So we would be looking for that mystery in the next video. I hope that you have understood the chapter till here.